In this video, we are going to talk about sample question paper 3 of Economics of class 12th. I am Ankita Singh of University School of Management. 26. State the various components of the expenditure method that are used to calculate national income. Expenditure method measures final expenditure on gross domestic product at market prices, that is GDP at MP, during a period of account. Since all domestically produced goods and services are purchased for final use either by consumers for consumption or by producers for investment. Therefore, we take sum of final expenditure on consumption and investment. This sums equals GDP at MP. Now the steps to calculate. First is identification of economic units incurring final expenditure, that is household or consuming sector, firm or producing sector, and the government sector. Second, classification of final aggregate expenditure into following components. First, private final consumption expenditure PFCE, government final consumption expenditure GFCE, gross fixed capital formation GFCF, change in stocks, net exports. Third, measurement of final expenditure on the above components. Sum total of above 5 items gives us the value of GDP at MP by deducting depreciation and net indirect taxes from GDP at MP. We get NDP at FC. Fourth, estimation of net factor income from abroad, which is added to NDP at FC, domestic income, to obtain NNP at FC, that is national income. Or discuss any two differences between GDP at constant prices and GDP at current prices. The two main differences between GDP at current prices and at constant prices are: GDP at current prices are measured at current year prices, whereas GDP at constant prices are measured at base year prices. So it means that GDP at current price is measured at current prices, whereas the GDP at constant price is measured at the base year price. Second, GDP at current prices may increase even if there is no flow of goods and services, whereas GDP at constant prices will increase only when there is an increase in the flow of goods and services. Question 27. Governments across nations are too much worried about the term fiscal deficit. Do you think that fiscal deficit is necessary, inflationary in nature? Support your answers with valid reasons. The term fiscal deficit is the difference between government's total expenditure and its total receipts, excluding borrowings. Fiscal deficits are not an important factor for an inflation, but even then, it is regarded as inflationary. When the government expenditure rises and tax reduces, in this situation, the government faces a deficit. When there is an increase in the expenditure, it will lead to an increase in the aggregate demand of the economy. However, the firms might not be in condition to meet the immediate rise in demands. This will simultaneously lead to forcing the price to rise. Hence, the fiscal deficits are inflationary in this sense. Reasons: the increase in expenditure will lead to an increase in aggregate demand and increase the price of the goods in the economy. This is because when the aggregate demand will increase the purchasing power of the economy, which will simultaneously increase the prices. The expenditure in the economy will increase the money flow in the economy. This will increase the investment through government expenditure. Question 28. Derive a straight line saving curves using the following consumption function. C is equals to 20 plus 0.6y, presuming the income levels to be 100, 200 and 300 crores. Also calculate the level of income where consumption is equals to income. Now first solve the second part first. The income level at which consumption equals income is rupees 50. It is ascertained in the manner as shown below. C is equals to 20 plus 0.6y. Now it is given in the question that consumption is equal to income, so we put C in place of y. The equation becomes C is equals to 20 plus 0.6c. Now further we'll be calculating as C is equals to 200 divided by 4 equals to 50. Thus at rupees 50, C is equals to y. Now the first part, here we are given income in the first column y, that is 0, 100, 200 and 300 crores. In the second column we have given the consumption, that is C is equals to 20 plus 0.6y, and the last column shows us the savings, that is S is equals to y minus C, that is savings is equals to income minus consumption. Now all the calculations are given here, and we can see the graph which shows us the various points of income and various level of consumption. Income has been taken as level of 0, 100, 200 and 300. Question 29. A part. What is meant by repo rate? How does the central bank uses this measure to control inflationary conditions in an economy? First, repo rate is a part of open market operations. It is the rate at which commercial banks within the country borrows money from the central bank. It is done through the purchase of sales of government securities. Commercial banks are the sellers and the central bank is the buyer of securities. Second, it is a monetary policy instrument which can be used to control the money supply in the country. The repo rate is the method of quantitative credit control method used by the central bank. Credit control methods are being used to control the inflation and deflation that is occurred in the economy. When the economy faces inflation, then the central bank will borrow funds from the commercial banks. Thus, the ability of commercial banks to lend loans is reduced. This reduces the money supply in the economy and the inflation is controlled. Question 29th B part. What is meant by margin requirement? How does the central bank use these measures to control deflationary conditions in an economy? Margin requirements are one of the qualitative methods of credit control measures of central bank. This method is adopted by the central bank so as to prevent excessive use of credit to purchase or carry securities by the speculators. To control the money flow in the economy, the central bank fixes the minimum margin requirements on loan. This can be percentage of loan sanctioned for the securities produced as collateral. In the case of inflation in the economy, the central bank would increase the margin requirements to reduce the flow of money in the economy. This reduces the flow of credit in the economy and the inflation is controlled. Question 30. We have been given a numerical and the particulars are listed as below. Net export 155 crores. Government final consumption expenditure GFCE 2500. Subsidies 120. Gross domestic fixed capital formation 1190. Net factor income to abroad 125. Net decrease in inventories 100. Net exports minus 420. Net indirect taxes 470. Net current transfers from abroad 350. Current replacement cost 145 and private final consumption expenditure is the 2200. Here the current replacement cost is also known as depreciation. Now first we will find out the domestic income NDP at FC, formula for which is PFCE, that is private final consumption expenditure, plus GFCE, that is government final consumption expenditure, plus gross domestic capital formation minus depreciation, plus net exports minus net indirect taxes. In the box we have given the figures and we calculate the figures according to the given formula, and then we calculate the net national disposable income, which is the sum of NDP at FC plus NFIA plus NIT plus net current transfer from abroad. Or explain any 4 limitations of using GDP as a major index of the welfare of the economy of the country. We all know that GDP takes only the value of final goods and services, but it doesn't take the value of welfare measures like happiness, positivity, etc. The estimates of GDP does not consider the vast black and unaccounted economy in many developing and developed countries, thus the value of GDP is underestimated. The GDP doesn't consider the services that do not involve any market transactions like the services of housewives. They are contributing to the economy but they are not counted in the calculation of GDP. Many environmentalists argue that GDP does not include the decline in welfare as a result of destruction of the environment. Thus, the GDP does not depict the damage and destruction caused to the environment. A green GDP has to be calculated for this. GDP does not include the leisure component. It is also an important constituent of social welfare that is not reflected in the GDP. Thank you, and that's all in the sample question paper.